Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Fairly Decent podcast. As always, I am your host, Jason. And today, we're kind of just going to talk a little bit. I don't really have any topics, not really any new music. I'm not really going to, pull out the therapy bag today. I'm not going to, there's no guide today, I guess, if you will. No, I kind of just want to talk. This podcast has been something for me that I didn't know that I needed. When I first started this podcast, I wasn't exactly sure, where I was going to, take the podcast, what I was going to talk about. I was in the hospital and, in the hospital, you just have nothing but time. To think. And so ever since the hospital, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Clearly, I let some of it out on this podcast. Some of it I keep to myself. Some of it, just among friends. But I have been doing a lot of thinking. And something that I wanted to touch on this week is something a little different. Because on this podcast, I talk a lot about, myself and my problems and what works for me to get over my situations day to day, and what helps me, what therapy has taught me, but we never really talk about other people's feelings. And when it comes to this thing of other people's feelings, there's always so many mixed feelings. Some people will tell you fuck what anybody else thinks and just do you, and if they don't like it, cool. And you get some people who treat other people better than they treat themselves. And I was kind of in the middle, I guess, for a very long time. I guess I was leaning more towards just caring about everybody else's feelings other than myself. And, that can be a dangerous game also, because when you stop caring about yourself, and you only care about everybody else, it becomes very hard to continue to please everybody all the time. You don't spend any time thinking about yourself or, what might be best for you, or what you need in certain situations, and I think more people need to mix a little self-care, while also pleasing others. I think there's a healthy balance somewhere in the middle there, because on the one end, you can be selfish, but you at the end of the day, you have to realize that other people have feelings too, and you have to take those feelings into account. When you're trying to build relationships, when you're trying to keep relationships, sometimes you just have to let people have their feelings, and let people take care of themselves. I think a lot of times we get lost in what we want so much that we forget to think about the other person. And I think we've all been guilty of this. I'm not just going to call myself out. I'm not just going to look at y'all and say y'all do this. I think we all do it to an extent, and it's just a part of growing. I think taking other people's feelings into account can go a long way, and it's just something to think about. Like I said, I don't have like any sort of crazy tips, or I've never really talked about this in therapy. This is just something that I think people should know. When we talk about taking other people's feelings into account, that doesn't mean stop caring about yourself, if that makes any sense. I think self-care mentally is probably the most important thing. I do believe that, you can't really care for somebody else until you're in a good place with yourself mentally. I don't think it's fair to try to offer yourself, to a relationship or a friendship or whatever the case may be, if you're not in the right mental state, if you're not ready, with yourself. I think it's only fair to you and, the other person, to get right with yourself before anything moves forward, if that makes any sense. I'm always going to be the person that, champions good self mental health. I believe taking care of yourself is very important. I believe, that the way this universe works is, sure, like what you put in, you get out. But sometimes that has to reflect on yourself. What are you giving yourself? Is it time? Is it space? Is it effort? Is it whatever you need to give yourself, make sure you're doing that. And it sounds like I'm going off on a rant, and I kind of am. But it's just something that's important to me. Something that, currently, I would say not just me, but I think a lot of us are dealing with this thing where, we have to find this balance between, taking care of ourselves and also, giving other people our support, giving other people our time, giving other people our effort. I think there's a good balance somewhere out there, and I don't have the answers for that. I wish I did. But that's why this is kind of, just me talking today. I'm kind of just talking out loud, or thinking out loud rather. But, yeah, it's just been one of those things that, I think we all deal with and nobody really talks about, because it's really easy to, I did this for so-and-so, I did this for so-and-so, I did that for so-and-so. But, like at the end of the day, like what did you do for yourself? I think it's super important, like I said, that we take care of ourselves first, and then, offer our blessings elsewhere second. I hope what I'm saying kind of comes across the right way. I guess the main point is like, be patient, Be patient with other people's feelings. Be patient with your own feelings. I think patience and, caring about other people's feelings goes a long way. I feel like that goes without being said, but, I want you to also remind yourself, when you get in certain situations, just to, remind yourself of, your own feelings and other people's feelings, and just finding that balance, So that's kind of my rant. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. That's why the podcast is here. I do it for you guys, but just like I'm talking about now, I also do it for myself. It's a place for me to go, that I can speak my truth. I can speak my feelings. I can kind of get stuff off my chest. This place has been wonderful for me, and, this is part of my self-care. So, the fact that, 3,000 people a week, are tuning in and just listening to what I have to say, whether, it helps them, whether it's a reality check, whatever the case may be, I just appreciate y'all every single week. I can't really say that enough. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank y'all for coming back again this week. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank y'all for coming back. Make sure you guys come back next week, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.